Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Frieren Season 2, Episode 5, and I'm excited for it. Last time on Frieren, we had a pretty mediocre first date. Some things went okay, but for the most part, that was a bit of a letdown for everybody involved. My greatest hope at this point, having had a week to think about the episode and sort of mull it over, is that we get to rhyme with it, that we get to have another episode at some point in the future with a similar situation. This is already the second time that we've done sort of a similar situation. We had the birthday gift, and then we had the bracelet, and then now we have this. And each of those has sort of rhymed a little bit, but specifically for Stark and Fern going on a date and it going differently. I'd love to see that at some point in the future. I feel like that's a combination of Fern having more open expectations and not like a checklist that she's waiting for Stark to check off, and Stark being more attentive, and we already kind of gave him shit for messing up the date a lot. But I would really love for this experience, given that I don't think either of these characters is going to die, and I think that their romance is a core part of the show and is going to be ongoing, I would love for them to end up in another city at some point, preferably before they have to go fight something serious, and like maybe have a good date where it actually goes really well and they spend time together getting to know each other or something like that. I think that would be really cool. I don't know if we're actually going to get it, but the the failure feels like almost a setup, right? And maybe this comes back to this mentality that I've been trying to foster and grow within myself of like, oh, failures are just an opportunity to learn how you might improve and move forward, and then the next time you do a little bit better. I hope that that can happen for these characters because I really find their romance endearing. And as many people commented on the previous episode, both in the comments and on the Discord, that first date felt very close to home for a lot of people, felt very real and awkward, and you grow out of those things, right? Like you learn from them and achieve new heights and try slightly scarier like getting outside of yourself and expanding your options and stuff. And I would really love to see that for these characters because they're growing a ton, and this sort of clash and kind of middling experience might lead to a bunch of growth. That would be really freaking cool. Last time on Frieren, I talked a little bit about my setup for a D&D game that I was running that day. I've got a similar situation today. Actually, it's about exactly the same. I've got 6 hours until I run another D&D game, but I'm pretty confident in what I'm going to do. They're chilling in the caravanserai, which I set up last time and drew out, and it ended up, I think, going really well. I fleshed out a couple of extra characters and stuff, and they spent a whole bunch of time, like, going through lists of equipment and stuff and figuring out what they wanted to buy to prepare themselves for future journeys and things. And that was really cool. And then I had them introduced to the wizard, Aldalzim, and then we ended the session because I don't know what the fuck his deal is. So my current set of problems is to figure out what the wizard Aldalzim is here for and what he's all about. He's just sort of chilling in this caravanserai, and I kind of wonder why. Maybe he's like studying something in the nearby area, but also to figure out sort of who he is. And the first thought that I had was Denken. I want to steal elements of Denken for this. He already has a beard. Good. Solid, wanted that. Totally different culturally, but then I thought about it a little bit, and I kind of want this, like, ancient, semi-fallen, partially propped up by, like, individual leaders who pretend that they're acting in the best interests of the fallen empire, kind of in the way that for, like, hundreds of years people pretended that they were part of the Roman Empire, and were like, that gives us tons of authority and stuff. I kind of want a feeling like that, but I want a very much, like, Persian-inspired, Middle Eastern-inspired desert empire, and Aldalzim could be that. Denken was kicked out of the Imperial Army. Aldalzim will be the same. Boom, done. And maybe something with never having had a kid, and that makes him take an interest in the characters. Lovely. So I'm gonna come up with that, and then I have to figure out a couple of like major plot hooks, like at least one doable in area nearby sort of quest, which maybe I'll just get inspired by Frieren for that. I know that there's a wyvern somewhere nearby and maybe some other monsters to go and kill to keep things safe, maybe some bandits, simple stuff. But if I get inspired by something in Frieren, I'll steal it. I'm just gonna steal it because Frieren is good and I want my story to be good too, and so I'm just gonna steal parts of the other story that are good. And then the other thing is, I think I've come up with my core plot, my core world ending plot. Finally figured it out. In the first couple of sessions, they went through this like forgotten dungeon of long lost heroes and accidentally released the evil creature that they had kept trapped there. This was sort of part of the plan. The trap was going to end anyway, and the creature was going to escape. But they caused it, and now they have that on their consciences a little bit. And then there's this crazy, twisted, gnarled, evil forest called the Marrow Forest, or the Gloaming, and all the trees bleed this black, oozy, dark sap that's like evil. And the trees are like portals to demon worlds and stuff. Like demons climb out of the cracks in the trees where the goop is. Fascinating set of ideas that Kelsey Dion has written. But I figured it out. This like other city state has discovered that this marrow sap stuff is really useful. It's got like magical energy to it, and you can burn it and like it's oil. It's oil. And it turns out that shit is like concentrated demon hell energy that's leaking into our world slowly, and so burning it probably has some negative effects. I figured that they're gonna come up with all sorts of crazy arcane like artificery stuff with it, like big machines to mow down the forest and like collect more sap, and maybe like a weird serum that they inject into their soldiers to give them crazy rage and shit. Stuff like that. That would be really fun. But all that's a little bit further away, but it helps me plant some seeds of things now. And I should probably stop blathering about my D&D campaign because we're going to watch a really great show. But it's what's on my mind, and it's like what I'm going to use this episode of Frieren to then inform. So it's what's bubbling in my head. So forgive me for blathering about it a little bit, but I'm really excited that I've got sort of like a broad idea of things. Yeah. Now I have to do a drawing of some kind, and I have no idea what I'm going to draw. So let me pull down a piece of paper and put pen to paper and see what the hell happens. I don't have the thing down, dang. I think it sort of has these like downward sloping eyebrows, and I don't think that's right for this guy. I do dig the monocle, though. Where does the chain to a monocle actually go? Oh, it goes around the neck. There's actually 2 chains. I don't actually know why it would go up like this. I messed that up. Oh well. Okay, I'm gonna call that there. He's sort of squished. He's like really, really tiny faced. His whole... Okay, hold on. Okay, now he's at least slightly less squeezed. I think maybe I should make the stash a little bit more so that it covers a little bit more, and it doesn't feel like his whole mouth section is just vanished. It's a little weird. From like here up, I think this looks great. From that's a little weird. Because I yoinked it from Dankin, and he's a dwarf. He's got short proportions and all beard. Oh man. Okay. Still, I will say that there's very little that helps me like get into the head of a character or figure out who a character is than trying to draw them. So often I will make a mistake, like my hand will move in a weird way and add an element to the thing that I wasn't expecting, and then I'm like, huh, well, that's interesting. I wonder what that is. And suddenly a new piece of the character blooms. It's like it's a living thing. I think we've talked about this a couple times, about characters sort of growing themselves out of nothing, or out of like base ideas. And then they almost make choices. Like, you know that character wouldn't have done X, Y, Z, or what they would do in a certain circumstance. And for some reason, it's not really like it's no big mystery, but for some reason, drawing it out and visualizing it and trying to make my mind visualize it forces me to answer a bunch of questions about the character. I wonder if there's any sort of similarity to the way that, you know, the authors that we're interacting with on a regular basis create their characters, whether they have an idea in mind beforehand or sort of let them grow themselves emergently. I've heard both, but I think I've heard more people talk about that sort of emergent process as though characters almost introduce themselves to you and write their stories to you out of some spark that lights them aflame and sends them off into the world. Yeah, weird. So, another episode of Frieren. No expectations for this one. We don't really have any setup for what's going to come next. I'm excited. Let's watch episode 5 of season 2. I've got the subs please version up again, up at 0 seconds. Once again, there will be 2 versions, picture in picture in the description, timer on YouTube, early access on Patreon. Beep beep timer to count you down. Let's go. I just noticed Hemel, like, being really frozen on the mountain. It's cute. Okay, I want to pay attention. God, can you imagine that live with an orchestra? Can you imagine that shit? Fuck. The beer regions. This is beyond the village that we had gone to before and onward. Oh, the beer region? We make beer here? They make grain. Cool. Is that a sword? Bosshaft. Takes notes. Ooh. A special booze. Oh. Yeah, what'd you do? Okay, so we're definitely going after that fucking cool booze, right? Hmm. Hmm? Hello? Oh. What are you? Yeah, but what are you? It's been 80 years, dude. He's not young anymore. This guy's old as fuck. Is he a gnome? He found it. He wanted to show it to Hyder. Sick. Sick. Fetch quest. Mission. I could definitely steal this. We need magic to open it? To, like, get to it? Ooh, enclosed lantern. For gases? Holy shit, dude! What are you? He's a dwarf? He's just a thin dwarf? You seem to be a miner. Oh, you had to learn the hard way. Dude is literally the meme of, like, digging through a tunnel and turning away right when you almost get to the thing. And he's the one who kept going. Holy shit. Good to have a little extra time. He's dug away for 80 years? Bro. Okay, so these are ruins. We fully dungeon meshy now. This shit slaps. Got me fucked up. Oh, I met her. I don't know. True. That makes sense. Yeah, you gotta learn Latin. She does know. Does she know more about it, too? Like, know that it's a trick or something? Well, we've seen things like that before. Yeah, what if there's a monster on the other side or something? Huh? When you say time. Useless. Bye. Bye. Give me magic. Magic or nothing. Yeah, would you leave him? Would you abandon a person in need? He's gonna die unfulfilled. Shit. But she seems like she's against it. Like, against it from the outset, regardless of the time thing. Does she know that it's fake or something? Ooh. The money works for them. Oy. Oh, whoa. Eh? 3 months, though. They've got time. Oh, they get to stay in Beer Town, too! Stark gonna get really fucked up one night. Oh, she's drinking. Wonder what these growing are supposed to be. Are they hops? They might be. But I thought hops was a... I don't remember. Yeah, what's up with that? Oh. She's had it. What if it tastes better after like 800 years, though? What if it, ages? So wait. Is Milliard a fucking asshole who's just like, I'm gonna make a whole dungeon around this stupid Malort? Just gonna put a bottle of Malort in the middle of a dungeon and write an inscription that says, this is the greatest thing that's ever been tasted. Yummy, yummy. That's fucked up. It's really funny, though. Emptiness. Oh. Oh. Uh. What an absolute fucking troll! Holy shit! It's just a bottle of Svedka. Holy shit, that's funny. So we've spent 3 months. Okay, here's my guess. It's delicious because it's spent like 800 years aging. That's my guess. Oh, oh, there's so many bottles. Blah, Mazui. No, it's delicious. Some things are worth finding, even if it doesn't appear that they're worthwhile at the time. But that's the question. It might still be terrible. He hasn't said anything yet. But did you double down and pretend that it was great? That's cute. Huh. Huh. Okay. No, it's Malort. It's terrible. Damn. Have some of the bad stuff. Have it. Yeah, but we should all get drunk together. And he laughs it off. That's cute. That's cute. Okay. Wow. Gosh, I don't know what to take from this. Hell yeah. 3 months well spent. Oh, what a weird half. Cute. Interesting. You know what? It plays so much off of the Hot Springs expectations situation, too. Ooh, yum, bread. Goto. No. No. Hardtack. Maybe you should get back to fishing. Eat it. Whoa, Lord of the Rings. I fucking love these montage. Oh, I fucking love them. The estate. Mmm. A trading company. This is shit that I'm stealing too. This is absolutely shit that I'm stealing. Trade power is power. Right. What a fortress. It's got this full, it's not even a moat, it's like a river path all the way around it. And then the bridge across. Like, what a fortification. So funny. This is so much closer to the like caravanserai operation. Oh, are you banned? Yeah, you just got the flag on customs. Ooh, there's that guy. Frieren. Yeah, you're on a wanted list. Oh, they never forget. It probably has become a lot. So it's nowhere near enough, right? I don't think it's anywhere near enough. I don't think you understand how compound interest works. Shit. Oh, she's working it off? Yeah, there you go. Goodbye. Bye, everybody. Hard labor. Gotta pay it off. The team? What? Bye. It was nice knowing you, Frieren. Eh. How much money does she owe? Yeah, she's being treated as property right now. Well, I mean, we could kill you all. Fight me. Jesus. Yeah, no. She's literally in the mines. Good. Good. Breathing protection. Good. They're all gonna be so chill, right? Yeah, they're gonna have her use some fucking magic, obviously. I think she might be able to earn the money pretty fast. Oh, that's it? No, that's not it. So did she just determine, just map out the space and determine where like rich deposits were? That's cool. Hello. Wow. Hmm. The scales have another meaning. Huh. Yeah, you suck, dickhead. You just wanted to entrap Frieren. And use her for this. Okay, they're really struggling. He's made a decision about this mine. They need a new set of funding. They need a new source of funding. They need gold. So he's come up with a plan. It's a good plan. It exploits her, right? But it's a good plan for him. Leverage. Yeah, entrapment, a little bit. It's the whole North, right? They rely on it. Yeah, improving logistics improves everything for everyone, right? You are shrewd, aren't you? I take it back. You're not as much of an asshole. But I still don't like you, but alright. Whoa. hey, folks. 300 years went by quick. nice. It, literally what it means. okay. Well, this was cool. Two interesting little stories. Both of them, like, subversions of expectations a little bit. And one powerful animation sequence, right? We haven't had as many of in Frieren Season 2. So it's nice to have one. It's cool. Okay, it's been a couple episodes since I mentioned it, but this is so fucking insane. Did they cut Frieren out for that part? I think they did. I think it was layered. As all the animals are running by. Miss Fern received a demon slaying quest. Looks like a village is gonna be in trouble. That's very cool. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see it, especially with the quest being placed on Fern. That seems very neat. Very exciting. Okay, this episode. Two halves of it, there's a little bit of a connection between them about getting somewhere and then not quite getting what you expected, or things not turning out the way that you expected. And then the first half reminds me most poignantly of the hot springs episode where we're like, oh wow, I really want to go see this coolest hot springs ever, that's oh so great, and then we go to the hot springs and it's kind of mediocre, but we're like, oh, it's actually kind of cool because we spent it with our friends and we had this experience in time. It's very similar to, oh, I want to go find the greatest liquor that's ever been. I'm going to go hunting for it. We go and we search, and then we find it and it's not that great, but it's great to spend the time with friends, right? Hits the same notes, just with different characters and slightly different characterization. It reminds me of, well, this is a weird one, but there's an interrogation technique where you kind of ask the same question in different ways in order to get different answers from somebody, just by rephrasing it differently. Or like when you take a psychological survey, there'll be questions that deal with the exact same topic, but from slightly different phrasings and wordings and angles, so they hit your brain differently. That's what this reminds me of, is like, same concept, going and seeking something that you think you're going to have really high expectations for, and it actually is very underwhelming, and then what do you do about that? But each sequence sort of hits those beats differently, and I can't recall them exactly, but I think there are a couple of others filtered around throughout the episodes that are a little bit similar as well. I think that rehashing those themes in new story beats lets them grow and evolve and lets us see them from different angles and stuff. And I think it does strengthen them. I think it strengthens them as the story moves forward. And I think that's really cool. I would also love like more interesting stories, obviously, but I don't have a problem in the slightest if you can come up with interesting characters and interesting dynamics and stuff to regenerate the same themes. That's important, right? I think that we go through our daily lives and we really genuinely need sources of rehashing, of reaffirmation of ideas that we've come across in order to embed them in us, in order to really like to lock them in. And I think in some way we expect something similar to happen to our characters. Like they come to understand these ideas from multiple perspectives and then make different decisions as they move forward because of that understanding that they've developed. And I think that can end up being really cool. Favorite scene in the episode is well, maybe not favorite. I'm not actually sure, but most powerful visually scene in the episode is clearly Frieren casting some magic. It's been a while since we've had some really like visualized magic, and this is a cool example of it. Her sending out like light balls almost to, it looks like she's mapping the space under the surface and getting an idea, getting some wall hacks going so that she can feel where the clusters of silver are. And the scene where it blasts open to be almost galaxies, and I'm imagining that those are little pockets and distributions of silver under the surface or something. That's freaking cool to imagine the underground landscape as like stars in the sky. That's really cool to uncover something that we would never see. And even when we do mine toward it and open it up, it's very different than the like natural distributions of the thing. That's freaking cool. I also feel like there are a number of very nice looking backgrounds in this episode. That's not like an oddity for Frieren. Frieren thrives off of beautiful backgrounds, but some of these big landscapes, this one and then the fortress city sort of thing and a couple of others, I felt like were really striking. This one we get at multiple times of day too. So we get it here in kind of the morning with the sun coming up, and I think we get it at sunset with like a deep golden hue over it and the glow, and then at night with the glow from the mines and stuff. I feel like that's really cool. The space of changes given time of day, and it feels just lived in and beautiful. It's also kind of cool and sketchy and painterly and lovely. It's just lovely. I like it. Okay, let's get through the episode. Front to back. Beer town. It's a beer town. And starting with like great food, and this is a place that produces their own grain. We've got fresh vegetables and fresh livestock for fresh meat and fresh bread, and there's all this beautiful grain everywhere and beer and stuff. Yeah, it's a cool place to be. We're hunting for the legendary Boshaft. Huh? What's Boshaft? It's not worth it. An exquisite liquor offered to the Emperor. Okay, so a thing I'm stealing is most of the continent being ruled by a single great empire that has since fallen and their ruins are everywhere. That's already in mine. I also might be stealing that and attaching it to the halls of Ardenvoul, which would make me name the empire like the Arcontian Empire, and they'd be kind of Greek-inspired, Greco-Persian inspired. That'd be cool. He would lament about how, because of Mrs. Frieren, he never got to drink it, because she dragged him away. They all dragged him away, and she knew that it would be disappointing from the outset. Yeah? And her initial, this is the growth pattern, I think, for Frieren. Her initial decision is, we don't have time to fuck with this, and also I already know that it's a disappointment. It's not worth it. Let's get the fuck out of here and make the executive decision to not go after this stupid liquor. It's not worthwhile. And then they drag Heiter away, and then on the road, asking him what he would have done with it if it was bad, because she knows it's bad. She's trying to, like, figure it out. He says he would laugh it off, and it would have been a good experience anyway, and I think that informs her decision-making now, seeing this old dwarf who, this is, like, his life's journey, sort of. At the very least, if he finds it, he can laugh it off, have the experience, and move on with his life, the rest of it. Yeah. Once we're finished shopping, yeah, I don't want to stay here too long. Is she already trying to dodge him? I wonder. What a character. Yeah, I really thought maybe he was a gnome or something. He's like the skinniest little dwarf that we've seen by far. What a character. Gosh, what does he remind me of? It's not gremlins, I promise. There's like a little fuzzy creature in something. It might even be in a book that just grows hair all over. I don't know. Whatever. Been 80 years. Hey, your roster's changed. Where's that young guy? Another, like, races don't understand the longevity of other races kind of thing. Yeah. I see. I was too late. Will you help me? And we do. We go. Okay, I want to look up what hop plants look like, because I think that those are hops. Oh yeah, they for sure are hops. Vigorous climbing perennial. And so they do grow in, okay, they're called bines, not vines. They're a twining vine, grows up a post, and then becomes this, like, almost a pine tree sort of thing, and then it's got all these little hop cones, then you take those and they've got aromatics in them, and you brew them into the beer, and it makes it last longer. Cool. I just recently did a bunch of study into the history of hops and beer brewing and the addition of hops to them and the difference between ales and beers and small beers and all those things. So I was like, are those hops plants? From what I know, hops was like a very late addition to beers. It was traditionally a mix of things that was called gruit. It's called gruit. Which was a mixture of herbs and spices like bog myrtle and yarrow and rosemary that were added to bitter and flavor beer before hops became the overall standard for doing that. Dug it all by myself. Okay. I'm confusing this with Dungeon Meshi, because we have another dwarf in Dungeon Meshi who's not actually like a miner he doesn't have the mining gene in him or whatever. But I was trying to think, is that connected to Ison? I don't think we've had any, like, real information on whether Ison was, like, cast out by his dwarven peers for not being good at being a miner. I don't recall that being a thing, but I like this. I like this idea that he grew up elsewhere and sort of rejects the idea that all dwarves are innately miners, and yet he has come around to being obsessed with something that he must mine for, must dig for, and ends up learning the trade himself without any of his, like, cultural infusion from it. There's something really neat about it. Like, I guess the equivalent would be like, oh, I guess all elves are mages, and then you have an elf who lives for a long time not being a mage, not being interested in it at all, and then they become obsessed with something that causes them to desire magic, right? To desire an understanding of it, not because it's necessarily a part of their racial background, but because it helps them facilitate getting towards some goal that they want. It's cool. There's something interesting about it. There's something kind of badass about him being like, I had to study it from scratch. And this image of his eye close up with the sharp darkness on the nose and the above the eye really sort of cements it for me. It's like, yeah, man. Learn the trade that you want to learn to get to the thing that you want to get to. How cool is that? I did it for the legendary liquor. Nobody loves liquor as much as him. Yeah, we said no. But Borshaft! It's in the ruins. And I found this stone monument, and I knew it would be true. Fern recognized the Elvish and is very impressive for that. But Frieren recognizes the name and knows exactly who caused this bullshit. And knows that what they're going to find is going to suck. I love that we don't get to know that. Like, we trust Frieren, but we don't necessarily know that that'll be the case. I came up with a couple of possibilities. One, that it is as she says and it sucks, and that ends up being the truth. Two, what if it just tastes bad to elves, and what if dwarves fucking love it? Three, what if it's aged? I thought that that would have been the most poignant one. I really did, and I kind of expected that to be the case, especially with the way that we sort of dragged it out once he took the sip of the thing. We sort of jump back in time and hold space for a little bit and spend a little bit of time letting that mull in the background being a mystery, whether it's good or bad, so that we can snap back to it and do the reveal, oh, it's actually terrible, or oh, it's actually great. I think that would have been really cool. What if it was bad? Yeah? But it didn't stay bad. This is a thing that alcohols do. They age, right? They maybe not in the ceramic bottles that they're in, but I think it still would have made sense to me if it had aged and changed over time. I feel like that would have had some thematic power to it, some value maybe. It would instill particular ideas, but maybe those aren't the ideas that we're trying to go for. Still, the idea, it feels really compelling to me. What if we drag Heiter away, and the idea is partly that if we had gone with Heiter and found it then, it wouldn't have been any good. It wouldn't have aged long enough. Yeah? And so Heiter doesn't get the experience of Boshaft, and neither does Foss at that point, and neither does Frieren. But then, 80 years later, we come back and it has aged enough. Of course, it's been like 800 years before that or whatever, so maybe not. But I think that would have been really cool. Yeah. Dedicated my life to it, and now it's within my grasp. But there's this door, and we need 3 months. It's so funny that Frieren and Stark are down for it. Just because of the 20 gold. Nah, it's your dream and stuff, but no. 20 gold coins! 20 gold coins! 3 months is hardly any time at all. Okay, so we montage just a little bit. Your cute sequences. And they get to eat yummy grain while they're here. Eat yummy bread and stuff, so. No problemo. You don't look very pleased. Well, it sucks. Some elves pass the time in ways you wouldn't believe. So Milliard seems totally lost and without purpose. She dedicated herself to searching for something so that they don't end up like me. But then that implies that she had spent her life searching for this thing and it was worthless garbage. So then why doesn't she go do something else? Right? It's not like your fucking life is over. She just seems depressed. It's strange. It's strange. I don't really get it. My distant past, and it really is fucking terrible. But I carved an inscription. This is the best shit. There was no point to carving it. Le Epic Troll? Is that really all that is? Le Epic Troll. Well, okay. So we open it. It's beautiful. It cracks. Bam. Ho ho! Ho ho ho! Amazing! Amazing! His eyes light up. This is... And then we go to the background. Why did you decline? What would you do if it was terrible? Laugh it off. It's best enjoyed with friends. Yeah, it's terrible. The worst tasting drink. It's truly malort. Just try it. It's an experience, even if it's bad. Okay. Mazui. And then he ends up laughing. Plenty to go around. I'll make everyone suffer with me. Never had such a fun night. And it ends up being worthwhile to pursue something and see it through, especially with other people, even if the end result isn't very good. Journey over destination, maybe? Something like that. But also, you can make lemonade out of lemons. A little bit, right? Do the best that you can with what you've got. It's a good attitude. Because he could end up being like Milliard and be like, oh, woe is me, I've wasted 200 fucking years. I learned to mine. all this bullshit for stuff that it's not even good, and I got lied to by an ancient elf on an inscription? Balls. But instead he laughs it off and shares with everybody and goes on with his life. It's cool. It's admirable. Okay, logistics of the Northern Plateau. Clonk, clonk. Yes, that's bad. Montage. Fuck. The parallax and stuff, it's so Lord of the Rings. It's so Lord of the Rings. All we need is the sweeping helicopter shot. I love this fortified city thing. The 2 tiers, the palatial building in the center, the sort of bridge across, this immense chasm that goes all the way around. What a fortification. What a cool space. Ooh, and also the use of like a different color brick than a lot of the cities that we've seen, right? Because the grounds have all this like reddish hue to them, and then the brick of the thing is all reddish. I like it. I like it. An armed trading company and logistics network. Super cool. True rulers of humanity, power beyond the state. Very interesting. But why is it falling apart? Why isn't it quite as good? Snapping through these like large city structures feels really cool, especially after the wide open landscapes. They're big and they're imposing, and then we're in like structure with clerks and all that stuff. Wow. I do want to see under the cabinet, because I recognized Teeth Guy. This guy. Teeth Guy. Oh, there's Ison! Holy shit! Nobody. I wonder if one of these, Bonbon, or Scar-Eye Dwarf, or Cooch with spikes and stuff, are going to be characters that we meet in the future. I wonder. That'd be cool. Frieren, you owe a whole bunch of debt. And he's using it, it's just perfect. It's perfect. It's entrapment. Or not in like the police way, but you get me? I am not lax. Oh, you are so rich, but it's not enough. Fucking 300 years in the mines joke is amazing. And then these guys being so intimidating, and then they come up and are like, so what do we do? What's up? What's the plan, man? 500. Actually, 300. Shit. So they're gonna break her out. We've been here before. We've been in this sort of a situation. This is cute. It was like a cute little moment where all these imposing dudes walk up and they're like, dark eyes, we're evil. Hey, so you gonna help us? Okay. Magic. I think the show, on one level, lives and dies on whether these moments feel right. Because we have to indicate that Frieren is so much vastly more powerful than her day-to-day experiences would let us believe. When she gets into circumstances to actually use that power, I want to feel it. I want to feel it in my bones. I want it to melt me. I want it all the way inside my skull. And this does that. Music is there, and I think that the visuals are there as well. This rush through the space with all the smoke doing this like anticipatory goes fucking sick, and then all the lights blow out and leave us in darkness that gets broken by the magic itself, by her like magical sight. The rotating shot, the floating through space. How did they layer these dots to create so much three-dimensionality? Somebody did this by hand. I'm pretty sure. The same way that the person doing the colored pencil at the end, does that rotating shot and sets up all the objects that they rotate around. Here it's Frieren, it's all of these characters, and it's all these dots all the way back into the background. It's at least 3 layers. Because, so these dark blue dots are moving at a different rate than these light blue dots. Both are going right. And then these foreground dots are going left. It might just be 3 layers. I think it is. Oh my gosh, the way that they sort of like, the lights bleed into each other at the edges is so interesting. I wonder if this is some sort of CG program that allows you to place elements in parallax and create a three-dimensional space. I can't imagine that it is. I think it's by hand. I'm really impressed by it. I want to go look at it on Sakakaburu for sure. And then it illuminates space of, I imagine, silver. We do this rushing forward, and then this almost like, I don't know how to describe it. It reminds me of a fireball thrown in the midst of the Chainsaw Man Reze movie that like illuminates things as it goes. But it's so cool. Then, boom! Really almost eye-like. Yeah, like really truly like the center of an eye impact frames. Really beautiful. And then we have this galactic experience. And they're like bowled over by it and overwhelmed by the beauty. She sends out this beam and illuminates a space, and it's like, that's where we're going. All right, boys, let's do it. So she's not really digging that much, not really doing that much hard labor. But she comes face to face with the man who's put her here and brings up his legacy and kind of almost shames him for acting out of accord with it, to which he is able to demonstrate that he's actually acting in accord with it. He looked for whatever resources he could and discovered that Frieren was a resource. She walked through his door and he decided to utilize that. The debt repayment, he never expected her to repay the debt, yeah? He just expected her to be willing to do a favor, willing to do a fetch quest, right? A great land who invested and built a logistics network. And it reframes for me the like scales, the balance, stability, right? He provided us with funds with no repayment deadline. I never thought I'd be treated like this by his grandson. A little bit of a shame, right? But you must have some reason for mining this, and he expresses it. Logistics are bad. We gotta fix them. Our nation, our trade empire is falling apart. This moment where he opens his eye and we put a whole bunch of very slightly moving, it moves a little bit as his eye opens, very slightly moving detail in his eyes sort of like instantly reads to me as great depth and wisdom. Like he's seeing all of these things and deciding about them. He's not just acting or not just going with the flow. He's deciding. And there's a maturity to this look in his eyes, having seen men die, having lost things, knowing what he needs to do and being willing to do it. This is his best path forward. And so in a moment, like in an instant and in a couple of lines, I go from totally not respecting him to completely respecting him. If we were a nation, we would have fallen, but we are a trading company, so we can always rebuild. You're using that scrap of paper to coerce me, but she kind of laughs it off, right? Now that she realizes what's going on, please save the people of the Northern Plateau. And also you'll get some soft bread. Good enough. You are shrewd as your grandfather. And again, it's like, this is why I can't stand merchants, but she's smiling. There's something valuable about being able to do this kind of back and forth. And Frieren has a respect for people who trick other people and are effective at it. Even if it's her being tricked. She has this almost like wistful, haha, okay, you got me. That's worthwhile. It's cool. But she did intend to repay the debt. How is she going to repay the debt if not for the mining situation? I don't know. Silver, and let's go. Soft bread for the rest of our journey, and that's the end of the episode. I think this one was lovely. Doesn't stand out to me as terribly exceptional, but solid themes in both halves, especially in the first half, sort of reaffirming something. In the second half, something a little bit new, and one really beautiful, I mean, a couple of other beautiful sequences, but one really incredible sequence. Let's go check Sakakaburu. Okay, took me a minute to get to it because it's episode 33 instead of season 2, episode 5, but I'm gonna guess that, yeah, that one's the cut, and this is that one. Okay, cool. This one is Yusuke Yaigashi. putting the hand through the stuff. Those ripples are really beautiful. Man, it's cool. No complaints. And then this is Hiroyuki Kobayashi. We already sort of looked through it, but I want to go find, I want to go look at Hiroyuki Kobashi. I said that wrong. I want to go look at Kobashi's other cuts to see if there are similar spinning things, and also stuff that's similar to this, like fluid, magical stuff, dancing down distance. Let's go look at Hiroyuki Kobashi. So we've got 3 cuts around Serie. It's the Serie feet as well. Some Fate Grand Order stuff. Okay. 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 Right. Some lovely scenes, but all very understated comparatively. Oh, these are the characters walking with each other. Yeah, that was cool. Feet. Feet. Feet and stuff. There's truly nothing that's anything like this. This is closer. We got all this effects animation and stuff. What if I do... Yeah, that's all the cuts that contain effects in them. Interesting. Like, nothing that Kobashi has listed. Totally different. Very interesting. Okay. And then we already looked at the Yusuke Yagashi one. Awesome. Okay. Well, in that case, I will say thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Frieren with me. I think it was an enjoyable one. It's got some thematic weight to it. It's got some cool visuals to it. It was 2 more steps in our journey, 2 more locations and things to explore together. And also a really lovely montage and some cool music and just a great way to spend 20 minutes. I like it. I like Frieren, even when it's not like blowing my mind out of the water. And this one did blow my mind a little bit. Good stuff. Thanks for Thanks for watching it with me. I'll catch you next week for the next one, or you can get a little bit early on the Patreon linked in the description. Much love. Peace.